In my head, I always thought I was going to be a professional cricketer, and there's nothing else to life almost. You know, it's like that was my role. I have to make it. It's like, I will make it. I used to actually live here. Guys came from there with all sorts of weapons. Actually, once I got hit by this guy here, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe I'm back here. I got suspended 3 times in my first 2 years. I was walking here once, and this guy ran me over here. To this day, I don't know why he ran me over. It's, myself, my younger brother Omar.
Moeen Ali!
When you come back to a place like this and you think this is where it all started, and it just feels like, it doesn't feel real, like, if that makes sense to you. Like you're here one day and then like next minute you're playing in front of thousands of people at the Oval or Lords, and to play for England now regularly for the last 3-4 years, I feel so fortunate, and like I just can't believe, I still can't believe I play for England regularly. It's weird, like I feel very, very lucky. I like to know everybody that lives on that road. Still, some of the same guys still live there. And people used to come from everywhere, literally down that road, that road, that road, that road. By the time you know it, you're playing against the road. So we used to play Stony Lane, which was my road, against Fulham Road. That was quite a big, for us, was a big game. As time went on, we used to play parks. There's a park further down called Borsley's Park. And they used to come over, play here, then we used to go over there and play there. It's actually, when you think about it, it's quite crazy. It's amazing, but it's crazy. So this would be the stump. Obviously, here's a crease, but we play here. And this is like full of eggs. You know, in the shops there. This is where they put their eggs and stuff, like, and the bread and stuff. And we used to just pinch one. We'd put a stump here and make that would be the other line. And if you nicked it onto the wall, you were out. You'd have a square leg umpire sitting on the wall there, over there. And the umpire's here, one of the umpires here. And you'd probably have an umpire from the opposition, the team batting. So there was a bit of cheating sometimes. If I was there, I'd be looking to hit through that gap. I don't know if you can see through there. You'd just learn how to do it, or you'd aim for that anyway. What you don't realise when you come in and play here a lot, or you go and play in your schools and stuff, you're actually hitting so many balls that you are becoming better without even realising, I guess. And obviously straight was a big hit at the time for me. But a spinner, again, like if a spinner was on, I would try and belt him straight as I could. I learned so much in this park. I remember there was a time I couldn't play as a young kid. I must have been 12, 13, off my hip, and I ended up practicing with my brothers here, just trying to. And then I remember playing a test match here, and I just kept hitting the guy onto the road. And because I was playing county cricket as well at the time, age groups, I took it into there, and I remember thinking how much it worked, even just practicing off my hip and stuff. But I had that sort of street sort of wise about me, where I just wanted to prove that I was the best one here and stuff. So I always had that competitive edge as well. You know, people probably see me as sort of laid back. I have my own way of being competitive, I think, and I think that helps me a lot. I was definitely one of the better players there. How you doing? That guy there, Michael, he was a good friend of mine actually. His grandparents live over there, and he's actually quite a good footballer and stuff. But you see, like, regularly when I'm around here, everyone, the park is still here. They're still around, no one comes anymore. I remember there's a group of older guys playing, and we were playing on the bank, we were playing football. The guys came from there with all sorts of weapons, and I remember they just charged a group of guys playing here, and me and my brothers just ran because it was so scary, you know. Like, the guys were like big, I don't know, you know those things that they spin around, it's like metal bars and stuff, and there was times like that as well. But again, you learn to run sometimes when you need to. For us, this was a safe place to be, even though it was a rough place. It doesn't really make that much sense to someone, but this was our go-to place. Like, if ever there was problems, you know, away from in school, whatever, you come here and you sort of take your mind off things and come and play your football, cricket, spend all your day here literally until the sunset and then go home. Even though it was rough at the time, it felt safe because there wasn't the knives and the guns as it is probably now. It wasn't as ruthless, I don't think, even though it was pretty rough at the time still. Actually, once I got hit by this guy here, and I saw one of the senior guys, and he went and sorted it. I never did anything, but he warned the guy, and never again. Like, you know, it was that sort of upbringing. Great memories. Even when I drive past, I always feel like I wish if there was any time in my life, I know it'll never happen. I'd love to come back to those days that I used to come here all the time. No worries about nothing. You just play cricket, you play football, go home, look forward to the next day because you're going to do exactly the same thing. Little things that give you that warm feeling inside that makes you feel like almost like a human being sometimes. Sometimes you get caught up in everything else that you forget your roots, or you forget where you're from, you forget your friends. And I try never to do that. I try and always know that I'm from here and this is where I'll always be. I'd always say I'm from Sparkhill. Yeah, it's my area here. Love it. You work so hard as a youngster to become whatever you want to become, and then the time comes and you probably give up. And I think that was another thing. My dad never ever gave up. I think he saw from an early age that we were quite talented and stuff, and he was like, no, he was adamant that we had to make it. And even though he had some pressure from family about, you know, why are they playing cricket? They're wasting their time. There's no career in it, and it's hard because of where we're from and our backgrounds and stuff. But my dad was like, no, they're gonna do something, because my dad knew what was going on in terms of cricket, and he's like, no, they're gonna do something and things like that. Whenever I think about this school, it just brings great feelings and memories and things like that. Just can't believe it. I just can't believe I'm back here after so long. I'd finish here and then straight to the park. And sometimes my mum would take us to the mosque, or think that we're going to the mosque, but we'd go straight to the park. So we used to make our way, we used to walk up to the road of the mosque and then do a U-turn from the other side and straight into the park. I've not been back probably since I left, actually. I remember coming back once, and since then I've not come back. I don't think I was ever naughty or anything like that. Not in primary school anyway. I still love it. I absolutely love it. My first day here, my older brother, he said because obviously we were in nursery. I remember he came to this gate. This gate was a lot longer, I think, at the time. And we used to be on this climbing frame here. And he came and said hello to me, and that's the first memory I have of this school, when he said hello. And I just knew that because he was my older, because obviously a little bit scared, and I felt real safe because he was here and stuff like that. And I remember after that day I was fine. I think my favourite time was when my sister, my brother, my younger brother, we were all in here at the same time. Because it just brings back those memories when you were young and innocent. I remember these, I don't know what year was that? 1995. We were doing Theseus and the Monitor, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called. And I was one of them, and I was so shy and I didn't want to do it. The teacher forced me, and then I said to the teacher, I can't do it. I've never been the brightest or anything like that, but I knew what was going on. Sometimes I was so into sport though. I used to love just going outside. I can't wait to leave to get outside to play time, dinner time, whatever it was. I think everybody knew that we were so interested in cricket that we were. I think even some of the teachers knew that we were going to try and get somewhere as cricketers. And When I went to South Africa, and I was always proud to tell people that I was from Nelson Mandela School, and everyone was like, oh, wow, you know, Nelson, because it's so big over there, obviously. And I remember when I used to tell people that I really feel proud of it, and when I told people that he came to our school, and because people over there would have loved to have met him, and so yeah, I used to rub it in a little bit. You know what I remember about here? That spelling, so you used to like flip this long spelling books here, and you'd have to like memorize and learn the spelling of all these words and stuff. Probably still don't know them. Look how small these chairs are. Yeah, the ones. I think sometimes you forget how lucky you are that you brought up in this way, and there's children out there who don't have anything, and as you get older you realise how fortunate you are with what you had as a kid, and they all make a big difference into whatever you want to try and become. So for me this was the best primary school you could ever come to, and sometimes when I had training and stuff like that, and the school would allow me to, they would understand, and I think that made a massive difference into me developing as a cricketer. But you have such a mixture here in terms of, you just have a bit of everything. Yeah. Like all different types of religions to colour, like in terms of, you have a lot of Arabs, Pakistani backgrounds, Bangladesh, like they're all different. Like, it's great because you sort of just learn to get on with everyone. And when you're a child, you don't really care. And to be honest with you, nobody should ever care what colour somebody is or what religion someone is. It's at the end of the day, we're all human beings and things like that. And that's what you learn straight away. You don't learn none of the stuff. And I used to actually live here. This is 197. That used to be my house. So as you can see, it's quite a busy road. I used to see there was a bus I could take to here and then get to school. But because my friends used to take the other bus, I used to always jump in with them. So I used to walk a little bit and then bus it. And I'll show you this one place. We used to call it the churchyard. And this is where I remember there was fights almost every single day. I was very fortunate because my friends, as soon as I got in trouble, they always used to say, look, you play cricket, we don't want you to join in. We don't want you to take part in it. And even though I knew that was best, I also felt, because they were my friends and my best friends, that I needed to do something or help them. But initially, I always used to try and avoid or try and stop it. I think with me, because I had a sort of vision or something that I was able to see a future in, I sort of, that kept me going and grounded, and you sort of know what's best for it and what's not. Some of my mates, they probably didn't have that, sort of not sure what they wanted to be or what. And as soon as you get caught up in it, it's very difficult to come out of it. So that guy coaching there now, he was in my year and he was in my school team. I mean, I always felt if I ever play for England or a county player or become like a well-known guy, I always thought, you know, I'm never gonna change or feel like I'm bigger than everybody else or higher than anybody else in any sort of way. I always, like, I'll come here end of every year, every season we have a 10-over competition here. People from all over the country come on this particular ground. 10 overs a team, and I still play in that. A couple of thousand people here, even though it's not as much as what obviously we play at Lords and stuff, but the pressure of people wanting to get you out because you're an England player, that pressure is big. And I feel that pressure more than probably when I'm sometimes playing for England. I think I do it because it makes me feel part of the community and makes them feel like I'm still part of it as well. Because it's something I would have done before. So because I would have done it then, I don't see why I should stop now. I want to be able to look back and think, you know what, I played at the best grounds in the world, as well as still at the same time I was playing at my local club grounds or my school ground, or I still look back and think, you know what, I never ever thought I was too big to play for anybody else or not play for people or stuff like that, you know. part of my role as a cricketer is to inspire or make people feel part of who I am, and so when they watch me on TV, they feel very happy and proud that they know me, or you know, I've shook their hand or whatever it is, you know, and they do come up to me and hopefully inspire the generations to come to play cricket as well, and to try and play for England and things like that. Give them some sort of, you know, we talked about the vision earlier. It's give them some sort of vision, and hopefully their parents to push them as well. Secondary school, I became a bit more of a, not a rebel. Rebel's a harsh word. I'd say I was a bit more, I had the guts to do a few more things. Things that you look back and think, well, why? Why did I do that or stuff? But at the time, you know, you have a laugh with your friends, and you're probably going through that stage where your personality is changing and things like that. I got suspended 3 times in my first 2 years for a week. I was on report for a couple of years. One was for bad language. One was for, we took stopwatches and just threw them in the science language. You know, it's just like messing around. But you know, detention, I couldn't afford to get detention because my dad, because I was training from 13 to 15, my dad said to me, every day you're going to train. Just give me 2 years of your life and then you can do what you want after that. So for them 2 years, there was no detention. I couldn't afford detention, or couldn't afford to get kept behind and stuff, so I had to behave myself. At the time when you're struggling financially and stuff, my dad used to somehow get a booking or take his time out and stuff, so you know, I had to make sure I fulfilled those 2 years. That was the best thing I think my dad ever did for us. And I'm forever grateful for that, because I know it could have turned out a lot worse. Cricket was massive here. We were always known for being a strong side. We got into nationals, we went to London and we played against like Bedford School and all these like King Edwards and stuff, and we used to smash them and come back. But we used to love it because, like I said, we always like the underdogs, and we didn't have much between us and stuff, but we used to love and just smash the teams and then come back. Just enjoy it. I think throughout my school years, we probably lost 2 or 3 games max. And I remember we played against Solihull School. They had like a couple of county players at the time, and we were chasing 130 and we won in 8 overs. Me and this guy, it was to us, because we were so used to playing on a wicket like this, which is not that easy, but that was a good pitch and we just absolutely smashed. But we used to love, that is the kind of stuff that we used to thrive on. Go out there and just smash other teams. A lot of the guys who I played with, they couldn't afford bats, pads and stuff, so we always used to just share. As a county player, I had all the equipment and I used to share all my stuff, and when I got out, I'd give my pads to the next guy going in and stuff, and those are the kind of memories that you kind of cherish forever, and so look back and think how good they were and stuff like that. So we always felt like, no, we've got to prove to these out that we're better than them at cricket. That's the most important thing. If they want to play us at cricket, then we're going to beat them. I think I always have had that mentality, even when we're playing against Australia or whoever, and they think they are like bigger, better. I always, that, you know, drives you, and you want to show them that at cricket we're going to be better than you today and stuff like that. So, so yeah.
Was this your old school as well?
Yeah.
We came here.
Yeah, I know him. We went to France together, didn't it?
We went to the skiing trip together, you remember?
Yeah.
MashaAllah, how are you? Can I take a picture with you in the background?
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, man. So you want to jump
Come on, Aja.
Perfect.
Nice one.
Thanks a lot, Maurice. It's really nice to see you. Jazakallah. We're always following you. We've always got you in our du'as and everything.
Thanks, bro. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. So on this road, right, I was walking here once, I used to meet my father at the bottom of the road, and this guy ran me over here on purpose, out of nowhere. I'll tell you exactly where. To this day, I don't know why he ran me over. Right here, right opposite those houses. So here, he came so fast down this way. I stood against this bush here, and he came back, and there's no cars on this side. So I thought there was 2 girls in front of me from the 6th form. I thought he was going to go and speak to them. And all of a sudden, like, he reversed it and he fast just went bang straight into me, and I fell back into the bush. And his car tilted on its head. So I ran down the bottom of this road, like in shock, and my leg was pouring with blood. And so I ran all the way down, phoned my dad. I didn't tell him on the phone, I was in shock. And he came, picked me up, and he saw me limping, so what happened? So I got in the car, said, this guy ran me over, so he went. And the guy goes to my dad. The first thing he said to my dad is, you're lucky he's still alive. And my dad just went mad. But by the time, because the car was tilted, the fire brigade had come, and there was a lot of, obviously, panic and stuff. And I couldn't, to this day, I don't know why he ran me over. So the police took statements of me, and I was really scared. I didn't even come out of my house for, well, as in, apart from going to school for a while. Thankfully, there was a bush on the other side, and I fell back into the bush, and it was a bit uphill, and sort of got away with it. If it was a wall, I was done. It's crazy. I think it was 9 or 10 I came here. I reckon I came here at the best time. There are a lot of youth cricket going on. And the guy, Trevor, who we're going to meet now, he really took me under his wing. I think he was in charge of the youth, and he used to live just over here. I used to pick us up. Like, my dad used to struggle sometimes to drop us off or to bring us, like, we didn't have a car or whatever, and he'd pick us up and then bring us here. He was a lovely guy. He always looked after me and my brothers and my father. Trev, how are you? It's been a very long time.
Very long time.
You well?
Good to see you.
I'm good. Good
to see you.
You well?
Good. I haven't seen him since he was 15, 16, since he went on from here, so it is lovely to see him back, yeah. He wanted to be a professional cricketer from that age, 11, 12, 13. When he went out to bat, he went to make big runs and make them quickly. He wanted the ball out of the ground, and very often it happened. If the first ball was a bad ball, it would go for 6. There was no playing in. He wasn't very big, there was not much of him. But because he was so effortless and his timing was so good, he could have batted all afternoon. So, you know, physically to hit that, you know, some games 8 sixes, 10 sixes, in that 195, you know, there were 21 4s and 15 6s. Physically, for a lad of that age, in 20 overs, it's a lot of work, that is. You could just tell that he was very special.
A lot of the people here thought I was going to become an international player, and obviously as a player you don't really see that too much. You just carry on and try and be the best you can. Playing here was great because when I was training at Warwickshire at the time in the academy, it was about tightening my technique up and leaving balls and, you know, sorting my defence out, which was a problem at the time. Whereas when I was here, I used to just play my shots and almost go the other way. So it was a great balance of having both of them. It was great, obviously, and to get 195, but it was a game where my dad's friend's son was playing, and he was 15. And he got out somebody the year before, and so he came to my house and they were talking about how they were going to get me out, and almost for the first time playing mind games with me, and I was 14, I didn't really know, and I was very determined to put me in his place. Myself, my younger brother Omar, this guy Valid, he's one of my best mates still. A lot of us played county cricket, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6, 7 of us played county cricket. That's Trevor's 2 sons who are good friends of mine. This guy I bumped into not long ago, actually, James Foraker. So, and he was playing Warwickshire at the time as a left-arm seaman. That's obviously Trevor. But that picture is sort of typical of myself, where I'm pretty quiet, like never said a lot as a kid. But when I went out and played, I would try and express all my feelings when I was playing. I was very shy. I would be very afraid to speak in front of people, or even doing something like this, I'd be very afraid of it. Talking to the teammates, making a speech, whatever it was, cricket has helped me so much, and I think it's something from an Asian sort of background, we were very shy of this kind of thing, and It's something over time I've got better, I've got used to doing, and I'm not afraid anymore. And cricket has changed my life so much in terms of that. For me to have played for England is an incredible achievement for myself and for my family, and from the hard work that we've put in and the sacrifice as a family that we've put in, and a community that people have helped me with as well. Along the way, I feel like even though I won't be able to repay that, I feel like I'm showing that it wasn't a waste of time, or it wasn't wasted, and I love it when my parents come to watch me play, and my friends come and watch who helped me along the way, and they had to go through a lot more than what I go through. So I feel like I'm repaying them in terms of them being proud of me, and where my dad can be happy, like, you know, keep his head up high and say, look, my son plays for England, and that to me means everything.
Moeen Ali. High into the air, and 6. Tremendous ovation for Moeen Ali.
What a shot that is. Goes again, this side, leg side. Made that 3 sixes in the over. That pretty much sums up the innings and sums up Moeen Ali.
Ali! Oh, Moeen Ali!
Oh, close.
It's 3 reds and Joel.
What
got
a
the
way
screen
to
now.
end a test match. Moeen Ali with the first hat-trick for an England spinner since 1938-39.
It's been a fantastic day. I mean, going down memory lane, you sort of bring back all those feelings and the memories, obviously, and it's just a great place to be, I think. And also, it makes you humble that you realise where you're actually from. Sometimes you can forget that. To play from a ground like this, or my school ground, or my park, it's almost like it recharges your batteries days like today, and sort of you go back to the reason why you played cricket. You remind yourself the reason why you played, and your sort of humble beginnings and stuff like that. And it's been a fantastic day, and I've loved every minute of it.